everyone, I'm Alex and I'm the hands behind Lovecraft Crochet. My plushies are for the anxious, depressed, autistic, and neurodivergent. Small enough to travel in a purse, backpack, diaper bag, or even your pocket. You can check out my Facebook page or TikTok to see what patterns are available and stay tuned for the new ones coming out. I also make hats, scarves, blankets, and dice bags for the tabletop gamer or dice goblin in your life. Feel free to order through the page, TikTok DMs, or via email at love.craft.crochet@gmail.com. Now, on to the segment.
Due to the graphic and disturbing nature of the crimes discussed, listener discretion is advised. Retrostatic Radio presents Killing 15 Minutes.
Hello and welcome to Killing 15 Minutes, where we will give you your serial killer fix in 15 minutes or less, or your podcast is free. I'm Sam Rossi, and shortly I will be handing a poorly written synopsis of a serial killer to my brother, who hasn't read it, on a serial killer he's most likely hasn't heard of. This should be fun. Good luck, bro.
Thank you, Sir Cisalot. On October 10th, 1986, Michael Player shot himself in a Los Angeles hotel. Oh, this is a good way to start a serial killer. During the investigation into his death, the search of his apartment found blood-stained shoes and 2 pistols, a .22 and a .38. 10 unsolved murders matched these weapons, giving the identity of the Skid Row Slayer. Rudolfo Roque was shot on September 4th, 1986, by Player, who was walking behind him and then fired into the back of his head. Roque was not homeless and only visiting LA at the time. Player threw the gun away but was caught by police. However, he was released due to lack of evidence. Rick Stamp was next, shot a few days after Roque's death. On September 13th, Player shot Rolejo Servan and wounded Joseph Griffin in Skid Row area of California, right? Los Angeles,
yes.
Griffin, however, would succumb to his injuries on October 5th. Then Marshall Singer was shot in the back of the head on September 20th. 3 days later, Player shot David Towns. Christopher Boyle and Leon Gaines were shot on September 30th in separate attacks. October 7th saw the death of Cheng Kang. Really? Okay. Like Roque, Kang was just visiting the city. The next day, Player murdered Wayne Ellis in Athens Park while he was sleeping. Terrence Dunn survived his attack on October 9th, however, giving police a description. He would be the one to identify Player after his death. No reason was ever found for the murders or the suicide. He was one of 3 serial killers to operate in the Skid Row area.
Yes, that's the end of Michael Player. Short, sweet, to the point. Right, wrapped in a nice little package for you, and it's a happy ending. Well, technically, it was a happy beginning.
It did start off on the upbeat, but then you got 10 people just dead.
Dead.
For no reason.
Many of them were homeless.
Do you think so? You've done the research, so why do you think that he did it?
I think he just...
Was there anything in his back, like, fine childhood, not abused?
Nothing was said about his childhood. Nothing really, because everything matched the guns.
Right.
So there's nothing that also proves outside of the witness
that he was the
Skid Row killer. It happens. But, you know, Skid Row is known for druggies, prostitutes, homeless people. You know, it's where you go to get stuff.
So an assumption could be made that in the 80s, especially, they didn't exactly investigate too hard.
No. They don't investigate too hard. They don't really, you know, it's a public service killing.
They're deemed the lesser dead.
Yeah.
Where it's, you know, yeah, they died, but they're whores and junkies.
And they deserve, they made their choices to be out on the streets. Yeah, that shit. Especially in L.A.
Especially in Skid Row.
Yeah.
Where that is a very clearly defined area that is, you go there for the bad stuff, or because you are the bad stuff.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was pretty straightforward.
It's actually kind of upsetting.
Yeah, there was no,
I mean, the reason I'm saying it's upsetting is, like, there are 10 people, and yes, the ones that are just visiting are the ones that kind of really annoy me. But again, it's not even that because it was that they were visiting LA.
Right.
It wasn't that they chose, I mean, yes, they chose to be on Skid Row, or what was it, Athens Park? No, the one who was sleeping was in Athens Park.
Yeah, no, these guys were, like, walking down the street. And it seemed like they were just all in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And that's very possible. I mean, one of the biggest problems, I will say it as a problem, of any murder is there will always be the random act of violence theory. Not theory, but what if?
Causation.
Causality.
Yeah.
Causation, causality, casualty. I know that's a totally different word. I'm not Jewel. I know what casualty means. Sorry, that no one will get that joke ever, but it's okay. But so in any murder, and that's really like, and I think that's also what always makes it like, but why are these murders linked up? Like,
right.
For this, same gun, okay, makes sense. All the 2 guns they found linked up these 10.
Yep.
Hence, this one person, assumably, did it with these guns.
Right.
Compare it to, the Miami Strangler.
Where there was no real link up to it.
There was like, you don't see, I think there was 3, or am I confusing it with a different Strangler?
There was like 3 that were strangled.
There was 3 that you could link up because strangling and fibers and shit.
Yeah.
But then there's like, oh, and this person was shot in the head and stuffed into their trunk. Okay, why is that one linked? Because we said so.
Yeah, basically.
But it's similar thing with like the multiple Boston Strangler theories, or
multiple
not Green Rivers. Was it Highway?
No, there's tons of highway killers.
No, there are, but there's one for every highway at least.
Minimum, and there's.
But no,
multiple.
there's a lot of. Because if I remember rightly, unless there's a difference, because you brought up that there were a couple other, that one of them, and this might have been the one that I was hearing about, was the theory is that they just needed to get these solved, so they pinned it on a random dude. Which, I mean, could very well, or they tried linking more than...
Right, because they can put the manpower in a serial killer task force.
And that was actually a big problem with LA during the, it's actually a problem with a lot of major cities, especially during the 80s and 90s gang war phase, that a lot of people kind of forgot that it happened. That they had to put so much manpower into being a force that they had to stop putting it towards,
policing.
I think that's the best way to put it, yeah. Is that it stopped being law enforcement officers and started being the police force.
Yeah.
Yes, enforcement, but stuff like that. They had to be peacekeepers. They couldn't be... They pretty much had to be military police.
Yeah.
They couldn't be, hey, we got to solve these. I mean, yes, they had dedicated people who were doing that still anyways. But, especially LA in the 80s, hey, we're getting random... we got some unidentified bullet holes. I could foresee easily the cops turning around and being, there's druggies, it was gang-related. Yeah. Whatever.
I could see that.
And the only reason it would turn into, oh, this dude's the Skid Row Slayer, is because we found the guns that were randomly doing it. So I could see it on all fronts.
Yeah.
Of course, I could also be thinking about a different Skid Row killer.
It's possible.
I could be thinking about someone in New York. There's a lot of conspiracies, I think, is the buzzword for it. Of, well, how do we know it was just one? Or, how do we know that's the guy?
Son of Sam?
Oh, Zodiac. I'm still adamant that there was more than one Zodiac.
I'm thinking that we had a copycat who...
It's one of those things where it's like, I could see the escalation of the Lover's Lane shootings into him dressing up. I like bringing this up. This is like the 4th episode I brought this up. In that skin-tight Lycra outfit, in the gas mask thing, to shoot the people who are necking on the hillside. I could see the escalation there. But, anyways. So, final thoughts. Sick puppy, shot people.
Sick puppy, shot people. He was a spree killer.
He was. I mean,
that's the best way of putting it.
That was definitely spree-y. And honestly, that could very well be for this why he did the suicides.
Yeah. Realized what he had done and had to take his own life.
I mean, not even realize what he did. He knew what he was doing.
Oh, yeah.
But some people, and this is going to be the worst thing I ever say on air, some people have the strength to know that they need to stop themselves.
I can see that.
It's why I do find anyone who tries, mass shooters, most are cowards. Because they set up to not kill themselves.
But to have somebody kill them.
But they don't want to deal with the outcry, so it's going to be, I'm going to get famous by doing this, and then the cops are going to kill me.
Yep. That sounds...
But that's also why you're not supposed to shoot up a drag show, because that dude got knocked the fuck out after, I know, that's not a funny joke to make. However, some of the strongest people I know wear heels.
True story.
Doesn't mean they women. No offense, sissy.
None taken.
I've seen you in heels. You're terrible.
Yeah, but I can walk in them.
So can I.
But that's all we got for it.
I can dance in mine. Okay, I'm getting the hell out of here. I'm AJ Carey.
And I'm Sam Rossi. Later, y'all.
Killing 15 Minutes is hosted by Arthur Carey, with scripts written and researched by Sam Rossi. If you like this episode or want to stay updated on this series, consider following Killing 15 Minutes on Patreon or Retrostatic Radio on all major social media platforms. Good night and God bless.
You're watching Retrostatic Radio.
Wheel of Random is turn, turn, turn. Tell us the 15 minutes we shall learn.
I'm Sam Rossi, writer and co-host of Randomly 15 Minutes, where the Wheel of Randomness gives me the topic and I write about it.
I'm Megan Klodnicki, and I'm the host of Randomly 15 Minutes. I cold read what Sam writes and learn in real time about a random topic.
You can find us on all major podcast platforms and YouTube.
Follow us on Facebook at Randomly 15 Minutes to get more random facts.